And the same feelings of rejection has absolutely nothing to do with your faith and everything to do with the two wounds in your life that nobody ever gave you permission to talk about. Can y'all hear the screaming? Because if y'all can hear the screaming, anyway, stay right there. We're about to get into it. Hopefully that fan didn't just mess me up. All right, so welcome to the Healing Suite. I'm so glad you are here. Shout out to all of the replay viewers who are catching this. If you are new here, hello, my name is Renisha. I am an inner healing and deliverance coach. I bridge nervous system science with faith based healing. Okay? I'm not a licensed therapist. I tell y'all this all the time. But Renisha, your work is so therapeutic. Appreciate you. Hold on, y'all. But I am not a licensed therapist. Okay? My authority in this room comes from lived experience, from surviving a toxic mother myself, from surviving church hurt. Why do I always do this? From surviving church hurt, being in an environment that was supposed to be safe, from dealing with rejection that had me so jacked up, I thought I was the issue altogether. All right. So now I help women heal from wounds that were supposed to stay secret. And I don't know why I do this every time because it's like when I sit down, I look darker and I got my window and my ring light and all of the things, and I'm trying to look bright and stuff. But it's not working. It's okay. We're gonna keep going. So this is literally what we're doing today, you all. I want you to drop a waving hand emoji in the chat. Let me know where you're watching this from, even if you are catching the replay. Okay. So this is what we're gonna cover today. All right. We're gonna talk about the two wounds that most high achieving women are carrying completely silently, and that is church hurt and the mother wound. Okay, we're going to talk about where these wounds came from, why they actually feel identical inside of your body, why women like you, successful, saved, capable, are actually the least likely to get help for them, and what it actually looks like to start moving toward freedom. Okay, I'm going to do a live breath work moment with you as well, just in the middle of this, so that your body can become a part of the conversation, not just your mind. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you about something that I specifically built for this moment. But first, let me know who's in the room. Even if you're watching the replay, comment your, people like to say city. You can comment your state or your country. All right. Let me know where you are watching from. And I need you to be honest with me right now. Nobody in this room is going to see your answer, okay? Nobody except God, you, and whoever's in this chat. But other than that, nobody's going to see your answer. I want you to type in the chat right now, even if you're watching the replay, type church if church hurt you deeper. I want you to type mom if your mother wound goes deeper. Okay? Then I want you to type both. If you refuse to choose between the two because they're basically the same thing wearing different clothes, just type both in the chat or type both in the replay. Okay? Hey, Dr. Audrey, thank you so much, honey. I'm losing weight. Let me stop. See, I'm not on FaceTime. I was about to act up so bad. This is not FaceTime with you. Thank you so much, Dr. Audrey. God bless you for being here. Amen. All right, so type church if you got hurt in the church. We're going to talk about it. Type mom if your mother wounds run deeper. Type both if you can't even choose between the two. And as you come in, please hit the like button, you all. Thank you so much. All right. So I thank you in advance for being honest with this. I want to keep it moving. Thank you for tapping the screen and hitting the hearts. Before we talk about healing these wounds, we have to talk about what they actually are, because I find that a lot of women who use these terms, church hurt, mother wounds, and all this other stuff that's viral, trending, whatever you want to say, a lot of people, narcissism, a lot of people don't fully understand what these terms mean. They don't know what they're describing, okay? And when you don't fully understand the wound, you can't fully address what the wound did. Oh my God, somebody sent me $5. Let me not act like I ain't never been nowhere. Oh my God, who sent that? CN Mike Greatness. Thank you so much. I don't get a lot of super chats. I pray that you get 1,000-fold return. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This makes me feel so special. I hope God does something real big for you, and and then he turns around and he turns. I hope God does something real big for you, and then he turns around and said, "That's because you gave Renisha $5." I appreciate that. Y'all see how I act with $5? I'm grateful because people, first of all, people don't have to give you anything. I don't care if it was 5 cents. I think I told y'all the story of that time that one of my friends was out of work at the time and she sold $5 into me. That was literally all she had. And I laid it in my prayer room and prayed over it. And I said, I will not touch this $5 until she gets a job. And she ended up with two or three job offers. Two or three. It was so many years ago. Let me get back on track. Sorry, y'all. What was I saying? Okay, so a lot of women use these terms. Thank you so much. A lot of women use these terms, but they don't know what they are saying. All right. Thank you for hitting the like button too as y'all come in. So let's start here. What is church hurt? I know you hear it on social media. You see it on social media. I'm going to tell you what that is. So church hurt is not just somebody that was mean to me at church one time. It goes beyond that. So church hurt is a kind of betrayal. I remember when I first experienced it. It's like a pain that you can't describe, okay? So it is the wound that happens when a place that was supposed to be your safest place, a place that represents God's love, God's protection, God's family, became the place where you experienced rejection, manipulation, shame, control, or some other form of abuse, okay? This is what church hurt is. So the reason that church hurt cuts so deep is because of the expectation that came with it. Most people do not walk into a church bracing for disappointment. Okay? Like they will walk into this random social situation. Normally, it doesn't happen like that. You walk in with your guard completely down. You walked in with your heart open. You walked in trusting and believing that everybody was just sweetly saved. And then when betrayal happens in a space like this where you are completely open, it doesn't just hurt your feelings, it rewires how safe the world feels. Okay, thank y'all for hitting the like button as you come in. Share this out too. So it teaches your nervous system that even places that are supposed to be safe are not. Y'all, are my pants jacked up like Steve Urkel? I love me some high waist pants. Focus, Renisha. It teaches your nervous system that places that are supposed to be saved are not, okay? Once your nervous system learns this lesson, it applies it everywhere to your relationships, to your friendships, to your ability to trust God. Because here's what nobody talks about in the church. When people hurt you inside the church, your nervous system does not separate people in the church hurt me from God hurt me. And a lot of you, if you've experienced that, or if you just see it on social media, you know that it's the truth. Your nervous system, it's like they can't separate the two. There are people who get hurt in the church and leave God completely. And it's like, but God ain't do nothing. Nothing. Okay? Like I'm from the DMV, but I'm not. So your nervous system files all of this under the same folder, places that were supposed to be safe, but were not. That starts to affect your prayer life, your worship life, your ability to receive from God, your ability to hear from God, your willingness to be vulnerable in a spiritual space ever again. Tell me I'm lying. I know I'm not. Do I want to share this? So I recently saw a video someone did where they briefly mentioned experiencing church hurt. And they said, that's why I'll never go back or be a part of another one again. And then they said, and don't tell me, well, you just need to find one. They're not all like that. Then they said, and who can argue with this? They said, well, if I kept getting pew at in the club, would you tell me to find a new club to go to? Or would you tell me to stop going to clubs? Now, how we gonna argue with something like that? How That's why I started telling people a while ago, listen, just don't leave God. I used to try to, you know, not force people, but, talk to them like every church isn't like this, every pastor isn't like this, there's no perfect, blah, blah, blah. Just find some, you can't argue with that, baby. So praise the Lord, just don't leave God. That's what I said now. So this is church hurt, okay? It's not just bad church memories, but it's a fundamental nervous system belief that safety cannot be trusted, even in sacred spaces. Now, what is the mother wound? The mother wound is a collection of wounds, emotional, psychological, relational, that come from a mother who could never give you what you needed. Now, we're going to be careful right here because the mother wound doesn't always come from the obviously toxic and abusive mothers. The mother wound can come from a mother who was emotionally unavailable, a mother who was physically present but emotionally absent, a mother who was loving in some ways and critical in others, a mother who did her best and her best still left gaps in your little nervous system where you had to figure out how to survive. Okay, thank y'all for hitting the like button. So the mother wound, y'all, I'm hot. I just start getting hot. The mother wound is not about whether your mother loved you. It is about whether your mother felt let. The mother wound is not about whether your mother loved you. It is about whether your mother made you feel safe, seen, and worthy of love exactly as you were. That's what a mother wound is. And for a lot of women in this room and a lot of women who watch me, the answer to that question is no. Not because your mother was a monster, but because your mother was a wounded woman who passed on what she never healed. Blink, blink, blink. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Now, here is why I put these two wounds in the same conversation today, because they create identical damage in your nervous system. Both wounds come from a source that were supposed to be safe. Both wounds involve betrayal by someone who had authority over you. And both wounds taught your body a very devastating lesson that the people who are supposed to love you unconditionally will eventually hurt you, shame you, or leave you. Somebody tap the screen, give me some hearts, do something. Okay? Once that lesson is in your nervous system, your body starts organizing your entire life around that pain again. This is why you overperform, high achieving woman. This is why you people please, high achieving woman. This is why you cannot fully receive love without waiting for the other shoe to drop, high achieving woman. Your nervous system ain't broken. It's doing exactly what it learned to do in order to keep you safe from the people who were supposed to keep you safe. Thank you for tapping that screen and sending the hearts and hitting the like button. So drop a fire emoji in the chat. I know a lot of y'all are at work right now. Maybe you can, not even supposed to be listening at me. But if you can, drop a fire emoji in the chat. All right? If this is making sense out of stuff that never made sense before, drop a fire emoji in the chat. Now I want to talk about something that doesn't get enough airtime. Thank you, Dr. Audrey. Because when most people picture a woman who needs healing, they picture someone who is visibly falling apart, someone who can't hold a job, someone who feels like their life is unraveling from the outside. That is not the women that's watching right now. That's not most of the women who watch my channel. The woman watching this live right now or watching this replay, she has a job or a business. Sis might even be a big boss, okay? She shows up, she delivers. She is the one people call when things start falling apart. She looks fine. Sis looks good. She looks amazing. She is the one who is also the least likely to ask for help. And I'm going to tell you why. When you grow up in an environment, whether it was your home, y'all see me, I keep looking out the window, y'all. These birds, okay? When you grew up in an environment where it could have been your home or your church, where love felt conditional or based on performance, you learn something very early. Well, if I'm just good enough, if I'm successful enough, if I'm useful enough, then I can't be rejected. So you then turn around and build an identity around achievement. You build an identity around being the answer. You build your identity around never needing anything from anybody. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. And it works. You know why? Because people praised you for it. They said, "Oh, girl, you so strong. I don't know how you do it." Then they turn around and call you anointed. "Oh, you so anointed." They turn around and call you a leader. But beneath this achievement, all of these things, is a little girl who is still trying to earn safety. When I start lying, y'all just tell me to shut up. Let me sip some water. When I start lying, just say, "Renisha, shut up and end your life." No amount of success makes this little girl feel like she finally has it. Here's the second trap. High achieving women, especially women of faith, have a specific relationship with shame around needing help. I hope I'm not screaming in y'all ear with this microphone. Because if you have been the strong one all your life, admitting that you're struggling feels like betrayal to the identity that you've built. I can't let people see that I'm not okay. I have to be the example. I've always been the example, but I'm the testimony. What will they think if they find out that I'm still this broken? So now you're dealing with shame. So you keep going, you keep performing, circus act, you keep, y'all play too much. You keep helping everybody else heal while you are quietly falling apart in private. Okay, thank you, Dr. Audrey. And the church, God bless it, just made it worse. Because in a lot of church cultures, this is the narrative. If you have enough faith, if you just pray enough, if you fast enough, you shouldn't even be struggling like this. This is what they're teaching you. So now you're not just ashamed of your wound. Now you are ashamed of your wound and you think it means that you don't have enough faith. Your faith isn't strong enough. So now you're dealing with shame on both ends. This is a double bind that keeps women stuck for decades. The third trap. This is the one that confuses women the most. Oh, I got a call. The third trap is the one that confuses women the most because she has done everything right. She left the toxic church. She cut off the toxic relationship. She put distance between herself and her mother. Oh, Lord, she set the boundaries. And somehow she still ended up in another toxic church. Somehow she still ended up in another toxic relationship. Somehow she still ended up in another situation that felt exactly like the last one. So now she's standing here thinking, okay, what in the world is wrong with me? Why do I keep ending up here? Okay, here's what's happening. Thank y'all for hitting the like button and thank y'all for hitting the screen. Hush your mouth and keep on talking. That is hilarious. Thank you for keeping the chat going, Dr. Audrey. All right, so here's what's happening. Your nervous system was wired in those early wound environments to recognize certain relational patterns as normal, not safe, not healthy, just familiar, baby. It's familiar. And familiar feels like home, even when home was never safe. So until the nervous system gets a new blueprint, it will keep navigating you toward what it knows. You are not attracting, and I should say choosing, you're not attracting and choosing these toxic situations because you're weak, broken, or cursed. You are attracting them and really you're entertaining them and choosing them because your nervous system has not yet learned that safe is actually an option. For those of you that can, drop in the chat, even if you're watching the replay, which trap hit you the hardest? Was it trap 1? That was the perfectionism trap. Trap 2, the shame around needing help. Or trap 3, repeating the same patterns. Type 1, 2, or 3 in the chat, even if you're watching the replay. All right, so now I'm gonna get a little, just a itsy bitsy, a little sciencey with you, okay? But I'm gonna keep it accessible because I'm not here to lecture you, child. I'm trying to help you get your life back. So we have been talking about church hurt and the mother wound, okay? Just as emotional wounds, and they are emotional wounds, but they're also something else, and this is a part that changes everything. These are also nervous system wounds, and I'm going to explain what I mean. When you experience betrayal, rejection, or shame in childhood, whether it is from a parent or a religious community, your nervous system does something very logical. Dr. Audrey said all of them. I know that's right. Your nervous system does something very logical. It goes into a state of chronic protection. You can rest your fingers, Dr. Audrey. You don't have to just tap the whole time, but I do appreciate it. As y'all come in, please hit the like button because that pushes out the video and it lets YouTube know that this stuff you really care about it. Like, oh, this girl, she's really needed, okay? So your nervous system goes into a state of chronic protection. It decides, based on the evidence that it has collected, that the world is not consistently safe, that people who have authority over you will eventually hurt you. This is also why some women have problems submitting to men, submitting to their husbands. Let me say it like that. Whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But that's one of the reasons why, okay? So your nervous system also learned that love came with conditions and consequences. So it learned all of this stuff and it just stayed in your nervous system. Not because something is wrong with your nervous system, but you have to remember your nervous system is doing exactly what it was designed to do, to protect you from repeated harm. All right. So this is where we get really specific with the church hurt and the mother wound. The two survival responses that show up in most high achieving women who carry these wounds are freeze, and fawn, FAWN. So freeze is when you go blank. You can't make decisions. You can't move forward. You feel paralyzed in your healing, your relationships, in your calling. You just feel paralyzed. All right. People think you are being passive or lazy, and your nervous system is just hitting the emergency brake over and over and over again. Then there's fawn. This is what keeps you in the people pleasing mode. You people please, you overgive, you make yourself small, you shrink yourself back. Oh, I used to do that so bad, just shrink myself. You're shrinking yourself. Okay. You're trying to manage everybody else's emotions so that nobody gets upset with you and withdraws their love or approval. You don't have to say amen, just hit the like button. Okay. Now, I need you to hear this. The fawn response is what church trained a lot of us to do. Just submit, just serve, don't question leadership. Put the needs of the body, this is what, put the needs of the body before your own. I'm not talking about your body, the body of Christ. This is what they teach, okay? And if something hurts, just forgive and keep showing up. Don't process it. Just forgive and keep it moving. This is not always devotion. Sometimes it is a trauma response that found a very comfortable home inside of religious culture, respectfully. And for those that think, oh, she's just trying to bash the church, baby, I'm called to the church. Don't come in here playing in my comments. That's what Prophetess Millie says, okay? Now here's something I have to say clearly because it might be the most important thing that I say today. Waiting to heal is itself a survival mode behavior. Let me say that again. Waiting to heal. Oh, I'm waiting. I'm gonna just wait later. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm wait until I have time. I'm gonna wait until this, that, and that. Okay. Waiting to heal. That itself is survival mode behavior. For those of you that have been wondering if you're in survival mode, when your nervous system is in chronic protection mode, one of the things it does is convinces you that healing. Oh, that's not safe right now. For the ones in the back, hello. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. It convinces you that healing isn't safe right now. You just need to address it later. It convinces you that you need more time, that you need the right circumstances, whatever that means, that you need an apology first from that person. Baby, some people never gonna apologize. You will go to your grave waiting on that apology, period. If you don't know how to forgive without the apology, I hate that for you. Some of your nervous system will also try to convince you that you need acknowledgement first. They need to acknowledge what they did. All right, y'all keep waiting on it. So you wait. And while you wait, these wounds that you are carrying, keep shaping your decisions, your relationships, your capacity to receive love, and your relationship with God. Because you want to wait. Every day that you wait to heal is another day that the wound is still in charge of your life. Y'all sit on that while I drink some water. Mm-hmm. Do I need to say that again? Every day that you wait to heal is another day you're allowing the wound, what happened to you, to be in control of your life. What are you waiting for? Drop a light bulb in the chat if something is clicking that has never clicked before, even if you're watching the replay. So before we go into the path of freedom, I want to do something with you right now. How long have I been on? 27 minutes, 55 seconds. Okay. So we've spent the last 28 minutes stirring things up, naming wounds, identifying patterns, bringing things to the surface that have been buried for a very long time for some of you. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. And your nervous system needs a moment. So we're going to do something together. It's going to take about 2 minutes. It's not it's not weird. I promise you, there's no exorcism vibes over here. Somebody asked me one time if I was an exorcist. Like, no, I'm a deliverance minister. Like, they was like, what if they ask what my girl does? Like, what do I tell them? Like, you're an exorcist? That thing was so funny. All right. It's just your body and your breath. All right. Just some intentional safety. So this is what I want you to do. If you are able to, I want you to sit straight up. Okay. Sit up slightly. Put your feet flat on the floor. If you are able, put one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, if you are able. And we're going to do this 3 times. All right. This exercise, we're going to do it 3 times. I want you to inhale through your nose for 4 counts. I'll do the counting for you. And then I want you to bring a word with you. So whatever word your spirit needs right now, it could be safe, peace, held, free, whatever. Just breathe it in. I don't know what you need, but I'm going to count it off for you. All right. So inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2. Now I want you to exhale through your mouth for 6 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do this 2 more times. When you're exhaling, I want you to release whatever it is that you have been carrying on this live today. Whatever got stirred up while I was talking, I want you to let it move through you when you're exhaling. So let's inhale again through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2. Exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do it one more time. Whatever you need, get that word in your spirit and inhale slowly through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Exhale through your mouth and release whatever you've been carrying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job. So your body just did something that it may not have done in a very long time. It let itself be still. Dr. Audrey, that's what he said, child. It let itself receive. That is not a small thing, okay? For a woman who has been in survival mode, that is actually enormous. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. So I want you to drop a dub in the chat. Drop a dub in the chat, even if you're watching the replay. If you felt something shift right now, and those of y'all that be watching my replays, can y'all please engage in the comments, hit the like button so I can get these videos pushed out, please, and thank you. All right, so now let's talk about what freedom actually looks like. Freedom. So I want to be clear. I want to be clear about something before I give you these steps, okay? Healing the church wound and the mother wound, this is not some weekend event. It's not a prayer, a cry, and then you're done. This is a process. Somebody say process. Look at your neighbor and say process, a real one, okay? And it takes time, it takes support, and it takes intentional work. But there are things that you can do in order to begin the process. So these things are they're going to start sending signals to your nervous system to give it a new message. Okay, you can retrain your nervous system. This is what I'm about to give you today. So step 1, you have got to name it out loud. This sounds simple. It is not. Step 1, name it out loud. Thank you, Dr. Audrey. So because these are wounds that were supposed to stay secret, and remember I told y'all at the top of the live that I help women heal wounds that are supposed to stay secret. Because of that, these are wounds that they taught you to just smile through, right? The family told you, we don't talk about that. That's your mama. You need to be grateful. She could have you. The church says just forgive and move on. You don't want to make the church look bad. You don't want to tarnish the pastor's name. I almost said something. He tarnished me, but you worried about his name? Thank y'all for hitting the like button. So somewhere along the way, you learned how to internalize the silence. Part of your healing begins the moment you say out loud, whether it is to yourself or to someone safe, this happened to me and it hurt me, and I'm allowed to say so. Does that make sense? This is not about assigning blame. It's not to stay in some type of victim mentality. The woe is me. No, the wound can't heal while it's still being denied, y'all. Hello? Hello? You can't heal from anything that you refuse to acknowledge. So that is step 1. You have to name it out loud. Step 2, you have to separate God from the people who hurt you in his name. You have to separate God from the people who hurt you in his name. This is something I had to learn. God is not my mama. I had a problem receiving from God. I had a problem trusting God. I had a problem receiving what he wanted me to have because I felt like I was not worthy of it. And then I had to learn, God ain't your mama. Okay? So whoever came in his name, you have to be able to separate the two. All right? This is specifically for women who were hurt in the church, men too, if you're watching. Because one of the most devastating effects of the church hurt is what it does to your relationship with God. But nobody don't want to talk about that. All right. When the people who represented God to you, your pastor, your leaders, your church family, when they hurt you, betray you, or shame you, your nervous system bowed that under God. So now prayer feels unsafe. Now worship feels performative. Reading the Bible is a trigger for some of you. Going to church feels like walking in a minefield. Does that make sense? And then you feel guilty for even feeling that way, which adds more shame on top of the wound that you are already carrying. Okay, this is what I need you to hear. God is not your pastor. God is not your church. God is not your mama. God is not your daddy. God is not the people who use his name to control you or silence you or make you feel small. That is not God. Hello? I hope this is helping somebody. The faithfulness of God, Lord have mercy, is not canceled by the failures of people. Let me say that again. The faithfulness of God is not canceled by the failure of people. You're welcome, Dr. Audrey. Thank you for getting it. Listen, tell them they need to get the clarity reset. Isn't that a whole word? Let me say it again. The faithfulness of God is not canceled by the failure of people. You got to learn how to separate the two. All right. You have to intentionally separate them in your mind, in your prayer, in your nervous system before you can receive freely from God again. You have to do this. Period. Period. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. All right. So, step 3, you have to grieve what you did not get. This is going to be specifically for my mother wounded women. All right. The women carrying a mother wound. Because a lot of women skip this step. They go straight into forgiveness. You go straight into forgiveness. You go straight into understanding. You go straight into, well, she did her best. Did she? Did she really? Okay. All of this may be true, but you still have to grieve. So you have to grieve the mother you needed and did not have. You have to grieve the childhood you deserved and did not get. The feeling of being unconditionally loved and accepted that was never consistently there. Okay, you have to learn how to grieve that thing. And your grief is not bitterness. The grief is not unforgiveness. That grief is your heart acknowledging the truth of what happened so that your nervous system can begin to release it. Does that make sense? Thank you for typing that in the chat, Dr. Audrey. The clarity reset is a must, period. Oh, I forgot to put a pinned comment in here, but y'all can still get it in the chat. Let me stop if I mess something up. All right. So you can't skip the grief and just jump to the healing. It doesn't work like that. The grief is a part of the healing. Hello, that makes sense. All right. Step 4, you have to start reparenting yourself. All right. This is one of the most powerful concepts in healing the mother wound. Reparenting means that you, the adult version of you, begin to give yourself what your mother could not. So it means speaking over yourself with gentleness instead of criticism. I'm still practicing this. I used to beat myself up so bad. You got to stop it. I think it was yesterday. I was like, oh, girl, I'm so proud of you. I'm just so proud of you. Like you did. I am proud of you. All right. So you have to learn how to speak to yourself with gentleness instead of, oh, you're so dumb. You're so stupid. I can't believe you made that mistake. I can't believe you fell for him. All right. Let all of that go. It also means allowing yourself to need things without shame. It means setting boundaries, not because you're punishing anyone, but because you finally believe that your peace is worth protecting. Your peace always comes first. What's more important than you and your peace? Okay. It means being the safe person for yourself that you've always needed someone else to be. Okay. So you deserved a safe mother. You deserved a safe church. Thank y'all so much for hitting the like button. You deserved to be healed. You deserved to be held, seen, and loved without conditions. The fact that you didn't get those things were not your faults. But the healing, because we got to take accountability. We can't control how people treat us, what they do to us, what they say. We can't control that. But we can control how we heal from it. Okay? So the healing is yours to walk out, and you don't have to walk it out alone. Step 5, is get the support that actually matches the depth of your wound. So for those of you that just coming in, let me give you these steps again. All right, my name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing and deliverance coach. Today we're talking about the wounds that were supposed to stay secret: church hurt, mother wounds, all of the things with to high achieving women. So I help women as a woman who survived a toxic mother, abuse in the church, rejection, and so many other things. I help women heal from wounds that were supposed to stay secret. So I was just giving you all 5 steps that you can start today in this healing journey. Step 1 was you have to name it out loud. Step 2, you got to learn how to separate God from the people who hurt you in his name. Step 3, grieve what you did not get. Step 4, you have to reparent yourself. And step 5 is what we're about to talk about now. You need to get support that matches the depth of the wound you are carrying. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. What's up, the chosen one? I can't say your first name. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. All right, so this is step 5. You have to get the support that actually matches the depth of your wound. Okay. And this is where I want to be very direct with you. YouTube videos, including this one, it can give you language. It can give you validation. Okay. It can help you understand what happened to you, but information alone does not heal your nervous system, y'all. Not information alone. You need a space where you can do the actual work, where someone walks with you through the grief, through the reparenting, through the nervous system reset. Thank y'all so much for hitting the like button. So you need a space that holds the faith piece and the nervous system piece together, because you can't fully heal one without the other. That's why I combined my work. All right. Does anybody have questions regarding what we talked about today? Now, this is my favorite cup. I don't wash this cup so many times that the stuff is coming off. That's my favorite cup, though. I don't care. I don't care. Does anybody have questions? If not, I'll keep going. If you are not following me, also make sure you subscribe to my channel. I talk about stuff like this every single week. I release new videos every single week. I have an entire inner healing playlist. I think I may have 100 videos in that playlist now, like longer videos that can help you all as well. All right. I don't see any questions, so I'm going to keep going. Oh, repeat number 5. Number 5 was getting the support. You need to get support that matches the depth of the wound that you are carrying. So you know how some people is like, oh, I'll just Google it, or I'll just watch a YouTube video. But if you've been dealing with mother wounds, church hurt, or it's a host of other things, and you think, oh, I'm gonna just sit in front of a 15-minute video or a 30-minute video, and this is just gonna free me and heal me of stuff I've been carrying for decades, it doesn't work like that. So you need to get the help that matches the support that matches the depth of the wound you are carrying. All right. So let me say something before I tell you about what I build. Everything we talked about today, the church wound, the mother wound, the nervous system patterns, the high achiever traps, none of it is information you can think your way out of. You can watch every single video. You can read every book. You can save every post. Amazing. Your nervous system will still be running the same patterns tomorrow morning. Okay? This is because nervous system healing requires more than information. It requires an actual experience of safety, an actual process of working through what happened in your body, not just understanding in your head. You have got to teach your body that it is safe. Until you are able to do that, you're still going to be in survival mode, y'all. So I built something for you exactly. I built something for exactly this moment. It's called the Clarity Reset. Dr. Audrey mentioned it earlier. So this is a 7-day experience designed specifically for women who are done surviving. It is not for the procrastinators, the one that want to make all these excuses. Do y'all understand that quarter 1 is almost over? The year just came in and it's about to be April. Hello, and you still procrastinating? Y'all keep that. It's not for you. All right. It's for the women who are done cycling through the same wounds every single year in different situations. It's for the ones who are done being the strong one while quietly falling apart. And I know that I have men who watch me as well, but the Clarity Reset, I specifically revamped it and designed it for women only. All right. For women only. I love y'all, brothers. I love y'all. But I designed it for women only. Okay, so in 7 days, the Clarity Reset is going to give your nervous system an actual reset. It's going to give you clarity regarding what has been driving your patterns, and it's going to give you the foundation, a real one, somebody say a real one, to start building your healing on. So it holds the faith piece and the nervous system piece together, okay? Because you are a whole woman and your healing, you need to treat your healing like it. So the link is, the link is in the description. The link is in the description. Yeah, the link is in the description. So you can click that, read up on that. Also, I have a lot of new followers and a lot of people that has been asking about the class I taught, Surviving Toxic Mothers, which I renamed it the Mother Wound Recovery Suite. Now, if you just go to my healing suite, you are not going to see it, but I did link the specific class because I put the class inside of my inner healing vault, being that I deal with people who have complex traumas. Okay, so it's inside of the inner healing vault. For those that are like, Renisha, I can't get the inner healing vault right now, but I still need this class. Click the link, go under this description, find where it says the Mother Wound Recovery Suite, click the link while it's available. All right, it's a private link, so if you don't get it from under this video, you're not going to find it if you just go to my website. All right, so I'm not going to tell you what you need. I'm not going to tell you that you need it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to tell you that you need it because you already know you need it. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Y'all know y'all need this. Like, what you want me to say? What I'm going to tell you is this. The woman who walked into this live 47 minutes ago, I've been live 47 minutes. The woman who walked into this live 47 minutes ago and the woman who walks out of it have both heard the same information. The only difference between them is what she decides to do with it. You can walk out of here with new language for old wounds and do nothing. Or you can walk out of here and decide today, this is the year that you actually heal. The door is open. It's always been open. The question is whether you are ready to walk through it. Okay, now if you are a male, you can get the class. Don't get the Clarity Reset just because I specifically designed it for women. But the actual class I did, you can look in the description and find that and read up on it. The different classes, you can get that. And I actually addressed men in the class because I knew some men would need it, if that makes sense. If you need something that's more of a nervous system reset, you can go to my playlist and look at the nervous system reset challenge we did a few weeks ago. But the class you can absolutely get, and it will help you if you're a male. But thank you for being here because I love when the men come through. Okay, period. Where am I at, y'all? All right. So before you go, I want to drop. I want you to drop one word in the chat. Hold on. One word that describes what you're walking away with from this live today. Drop one word in the chat. If you are listening at the replay, drop a word under this video. Y'all know I read all of my comments. So just let me know what you're walking away from this live today with, okay? And I want to close by saying something that I want to close by saying something to you, and I mean this with everything in me. The wounds that were supposed to stay secret, I had to block family members last year. Some of y'all heard me talk about it. They got mad. They heard about my videos I did. regarding surviving toxic mothers. And baby, they was 38 high. That's what y'all call it. They was going off. But what you're not gonna do is go off on me. So you can talk to yourself. That's how generational trauma gets passed on. All right. The wounds that were supposed to stay secret, they don't have to stay secret anymore. Okay. You don't have to keep smiling through them. You don't have to keep performing like they are not there. You don't have to keep waiting for the people who created them to acknowledge them or to apologize to you before you start healing. You are allowed to heal right now, as you are, without permission from anyone. God did not bring you to this life by accident. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too far gone. Okay. You are a woman or a man with wounds that make sense, and a God who is more than able to heal every single one of them. All right. So I love y'all. I mean that. And I'm going to see you next Wednesday. Dr. Archer says she's walking away with peace. I know that's right. And hopefully the guy Falcon, you can go read up on my class under this description. Mother wounds, absolutely. I addressed that. I addressed it in my class, how they affect men. All right. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for liking. Thank you for my super chat. Thank you for my super chat. Before I end, can y'all hit the like button, share this out, do all of the things? Am I missing something? No, we're done. Slap your neighbor and say, neighbor. All right, send this to somebody who needs it, y'all. I love y'all. I'm out. Knowledge. That's okay, Dr. Audrey. So knowledge and peace. Amen. And if you are someone who wants to live from a place of peace, join the Clarity Reset. You can go read up about that and what all of that comes with. All right. See y'all later.